Patient with me too.
Hi, and welcome to the End of Life Journey and Beyond, the Sands of Time. My name is Lisa Strahs-Lorenc, and I'm a bereavement specialist, and it's really good to see you again, Susan.
It's great to see you again, Lisa, too. My name's Susan Capurso, an end-of-life doula and legacy advisor, and we missed a few weeks. Lisa was off traveling the world, which I'm a little jealous about, but that's okay. I'm here waiting for you for today, Lisa.
Thank
Um, and today we're going to talk about something a little personal to me, but it's personal to Lisa, and it's personal to all of you and anybody who's watching this that has lost a loved one, um, because of the different times of the year and the different holidays coming up. And you know, basically, we want you to know that as we go through life, there are moments, right? Whether it's holidays or significant events that stir up a whirlwind of emotions in us. And they can be particularly challenging for those of us who have experienced loss, absolutely, such as the passing of a loved one. Okay, but that can also mean other things like a divorce, a child leaving home. These are all pieces of grief that we feel during our lives, and we're supposed to. We're supposed to learn these lessons, I believe. So it's crucial to navigate these emotions and but to strive to maintain a sense of positivity for your mental and your emotional well-being. This is really important. So for me, this topic hits close to home because it's just about St. Patrick's Day. And unbelievably, if you asked me how many years ago my husband passed on St. Patrick's Day, I would have said, oh, 4 or 5 or okay, well, it's the 10-year mark. And I cannot believe it's 10 years that he's not here. He traveled a lot for our business, so I sometimes still expect his truck to pull in the driveway. 10 years. I don't even know how to comprehend that. So this is one of the reasons that we're doing this today because it's really important, no matter how long it's been after a loss, you're grieving. And we grieve before a loss as well. We have other videos about that. So that's what this episode's about. I hope you hang in there to the end. Lisa, I know you found an amazing um, resource recently that really hit a nerve with you, and we were going to delve into that a little bit today.
We are, but first I want to say, since we missed Valentine's Day, that this is really about self-love and self-care, which is really challenging after a significant loss. It's really hard to think about yourself. And so my husband died 15 years ago, January 30th. And I still honor that day, and I still do things that, for me, keep him sort of with me. But 10 days later was my birthday. And I remember thinking, I don't want to do anything for my birthday. I really don't even want to think about my birthday. But my two children stepped up and gave me a sort of spa day that said, we're here to take care of you, Mom, which still gets me a little teary-eyed, tell you the truth. That was really sweet of them to do, and realizing that I really needed that. So I started doing some research about love and self-care and all during this challenging time, no matter how many years it is. And I came across Transformative Grief. It seems to be an organization. It has an excellent article, had some great examples of how to focus on yourself and your needs and compassion and all. I really liked what it had to say. So that's the framework from which we're speaking. And it is about self-love, and it's a powerful, and they call it a meaningful choice. They also say that take courage, vulnerability, practice, and the filtering of self-awareness. And that's true. Trying to love yourself during this time, during this pain, is very challenging.
Sometimes we don't want to.
That's right. That's
We
right.
don't care.
That's
We don't
right.
care about loving ourselves or anybody else.
Yeah,
You
just
know,
curl
it's
up in a
really
ball and let's just say done. I'm done. I'm done. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, they talk about self-talk, and so for all the self-doubts, you can actually respond with an affirmation, which is some positive thing that you can do. like I am, and things that you thought of. Maybe I am strong, or I am trying, or I am able to ask for help. A number of things that you now connect with that you got to give yourself credit for.
Now, not only are affirmations available in individual books that you could purchase, but they're also just all over the internet. You can go on to put in positive affirmations into Mr. Google, okay? And he'll bring you to sites with those positive affirmations. And I know for some people, they work really, really well. They'll find a list of 20 positive affirmations and pick their 5 favorites that resonate with them and put them on post-its and put one on your bathroom mirror, right? One in the kitchen on the cabinet in the morning or the refrigerator, and put them around the house and constantly, repeat them, and they make you feel better. Uh,
I'm
I
going
don't
to
know.
mention something really cool that
Mhm.
I was going through when I first went to a specific bereavement group, and this woman who's sort of a minister kind of person, but a generic minister and not, an organized religion, participated in something that's nationwide called 12 by 12 by 12. And it's 12 affirmations said 12 times a day for 12 weeks. And many years ago, this was what the nation was doing, and she was connected with it. It was very helpful to me at the time because the more I said it, the more I believed in it. Each time, 12 times a day is a lot to be saying something. I used to keep like a clipboard and would check it off each time I would say them. And so that was interesting because your head now is really in a space of, wow, I hear myself. I
I
might even
believe
believe
that.
it.
I believe that to be absolutely true because they say that with any habit. With any habit, if you do it repeatedly, I think it's 21 days,
Yes.
right? If you do any habit 21 days that you'll continue to do it, it becomes a part of your lifestyle. So I definitely believe that that will work.
Yes. I know you also wrote something about some of the things that were good suggestions on self-care and self-love. Tell us about some of those suggestions that you had.
Well, really, I think of things like reflect and honor them. No matter how long it's been, there are still little things that you can do to honor that relationship. Whether the night that I was feeling really bad recently, I make sure I light a lot of candles around the room. That always makes me feel better. His favorite food was Chinese food, so we ordered in Chinese food. But just reflecting and taking the time to honor some special memories, especially that are associated with that holiday or event. It could be a tradition, again, like the special meal, but any particular activity that you did during this time, all of those memories, they're cherished memories. They're your memories. They're not like anybody else's, but all of these can bring in joy into your feelings of mixed emotions right now.
I love the idea of writing yourself a love note. I think that's really beautiful. Starting with, I am so proud of myself for, and really
Yeah.
focusing on something that you are proud of yourself. I didn't know that I could do whatever it was, but now I can. I'm stronger than I believe possible. Whatever small little thing. I love that. I think that it's a great
That's
way.
why journaling helps you so much. And I believe in that because there's this little thing that happens to me all the time. Sometimes I feel sorry for myself, of course.
We all
And
do.
then this is the thought that always brings me back to being okay and proud of myself, like you just said. Um, that I always had this fear of money. I know that resonated from being a little girl. My parents didn't have a lot of money, so I know that that's something that just stayed with me. But I always had a fear that I wouldn't be able to take care of myself or pay my mortgage and all the bills that come with it and survive, and take care of my 2 boys that were here. But 10 years now, I'm still in my home. still paying my mortgage.
Mm.
And by the way, I didn't have a life insurance policy that was left to me. So I don't want people to think that it's just when you have that kind of monetary help, because I did not. So I've worked very hard. And I have paid all these things for 10 years. Not to get, I don't want to get so personal with the world, but on our channel, that this is important for us to do, to realize how far you've come, and to realize that I am so proud that my house didn't go into foreclosure, that
Mhm.
I pay my bills on time every month, and that I'm okay with that part of my life. Now, other people have other insecurities from being little, and they may become prevalent when you have a loss in your life. So no matter what that is, time will pass. The light will still be there because you're still here, and you know that you've made it this far, and it will be okay. And a lot of times, though, we look back, we, meaning people who have lost somebody, can look back and say, hey, if only I knew then that I would be okay, that everything will be okay, then maybe the journey and the anxiety and the fear would have been a little bit easier for us. Sometimes bereavement groups help with that. As you all know, I didn't care for my bereavement group, so I didn't have that kind of support. But had I only known that I would be okay, that everything would be okay, you know? Go ahead.
Good for you. I like this one. Love yourself enough not to compare your life to how it was before the loss of the loved one.
Of
If
course.
you focus on every day since and what you're learning about yourself, it becomes what I call a new chapter. Um, you
New
know,
chapters every day, new chapters every week.
right. That's
Embrace that, right?
yes. So what you're learning about yourself, all the things that you're learning, those all have to do with loving yourself and taking care of yourself and giving yourself credit for where you are, like you just did. Give yourself credit for where you are now and the strengths you have, which you demonstrated already. And we all have in some way. We just do it in our own specific way.
Right.
We create what new slice of life we can. And everybody's looks different. That's why I hate when people compare. Well, after this amount of time, you'd be here. Nothing. No, that means nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we all are different. Our circumstances have been different. The way we were raised is different. Our relationships were different. And where we are now in our lives are very different as well.
And people handle things in such different magnitudes. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, just about pain. Okay, pain in general. I'm a baby when it comes to pain. I really am, and I admit it to the world. I don't like being in pain, and it makes me sad, and it makes me crazy, and I just don't like pain because, well, I don't like taking ibuprofen either. I try not to take medications. So pain I don't like. I have a friend who, at 73 years old, just had a double knee replacement 4 weeks ago. No matter how much pain he's in, I'm just fine. I'm not in pain. I'm okay. And after 4 weeks, couldn't sit around anymore, got in his car, drove to Costco, leaned on the cart, and walked around for an hour and got the things he needed, got back in the car and drove home. What? What? They say not to get in the car or go out of the house for 8 to 10 weeks. And this isn't a single knee, it's a double knee. Okay, I get upset when I get a headache.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is we all feel in different ways, whether it's pain, whether it's grief and loss, whether it's a nightmare, whether it's a coworker at work who said something that you took personally. One person will go home and think about it all night long and be sad about it. The other person, it'll just roll off their shoulder and could care less. We're such different individuals as human beings, right?
Yes.
So, how you're handling your grief, we always talk about this, Lisa, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. My whole thing for 10 years has been be gentle. Just be gentle with yourself. What makes me feel good when I go for a manicure and she stands behind me for on the clock 5 minutes and gives me that neck massage. Oh my God, that's the highlight of my month. She's feeling me and touching me and my neck and my head and oh, come home with me. I asked her, can I hire you to come home with me and just stitch me? Because I love that the most. But that makes me feel like I'm being gentle with myself. So that might not be it for you, but going and sitting at the beach and staring at the water might be it for you. So try and incorporate those little feel good things.
Yeah, there's so many examples. You can even buy yourself flowers. On Valentine's Day, there's no reason to wait for somebody else to buy you flowers. You can buy
Oh, of
yourself
course not.
flowers. Or you
Of
can
course.
watch something on Netflix, or you can order your favorite meal. You can have tea with a friend. There's so many examples of things that you could do, but it takes somebody to focus on yourself. This is not time to say, oh, I'm not entitled to this. I don't deserve this. This is not that. This is all about loving yourself and believing that you're worth it. You're worth the life that you have
But
and
the
create.
hardest part, the biggest trick in all of this is you have to dig down really deep because there has to be some tiny spark inside of you that wants to,
That's right.
that wants to feel better, that wants to breathe again, that wants to do things, even if it's doing things a little differently than you ever did them before.
You know,
There's got to be that little piece in you.
but in the beginning, sometimes it's because you have a grandchild who may be counting on you, all right?
That's
Or it
right.
might be a child who needs you, or there might be some external thing as well that you know, it doesn't always come from, oh, this is important for me. It comes eventually that way, but for some people, they may not feel it that way. Okay. So you can say to yourself, well, I'm living now, I'm making sure that I can see, my grandchild's 10th birthday, you know, and I'll do something fun with her. Something that you look
As
forward to.
being, as being 10 and 15 years into this journey, right? I think I can speak for both of us, Lisa, is that we still have our days. We
Absolutely.
still have our time that we just don't care.
Yep.
I know, and I think I can speak for you. You're a little less because you're the bubbly, energizer bunny. But me, I do have those days. And I know though, at this point, I know to be gentle to baby myself because tomorrow I will feel a lot better. Tomorrow I'll feel the light again and it'll be a normal day and I'll go on with my everyday activities. I didn't know this back then. I know it now though, you know?
The same thing with crying. It is okay to cry, and everybody is so scared that they'll never recover from that. They'll just fall into a heap, and that'll be the end of them. And that's just not true. The crying is therapeutic and it's helpful, and it's an emotion like anybody else's emotion. You deserve it. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it. Right? Right?
One of the things that also helped me, I know we've done other videos on holidays, so we didn't want to really deep dive into the holiday thing, but this was coming up for me again, so it stirs the emotions again, right? So something that I do find helpful that I want to mention to people, think about it in advance. Look at the calendar, think about it in advance, and now make some of your plans.
Yes.
Know that it's coming up. You know how, like, you get used to the idea? Some people don't like things to happen spur of the moment. But if you tell them about an invitation 3 weeks in advance, right? They're good with that because now they've had time to settle on it, think about what they'll wear, think about how they'll get there, what they'll bring, right? Not everybody likes spur of the moment, okay? I'm not like that. I love spur of the moment. But think about the event or the holiday or whatever day is bringing you meaning and really think about it and plan. We talk about that, right?
We
So
do.
every St. Patrick's Day, this happens to be a big day because it's St. Patrick's Day and everybody's doing, my boys now at this point are, they're out partying on St. Patrick's Day. And yes, they raise a toast to their dad, to me, it's a little bit more of a sentimental thing. So I have to purposely plan, okay, who invited me where, or what will I do? I love corned beef and cabbage, so that's a bonus. But I have to try and plan the series of events for that day. That helps
It
if you do
does.
that ahead of
It
time.
does. Planning is very therapeutic. Every
Yeah.
year on January 30th, I watch Ghost, and that is my movie for my husband. And that's very therapeutic for me. It's, might not be for other people, but I identify with Patrick Swayze, who was sick at the same time, and his wife Lisa, and here I am. Um,
Well, you
and there's
got
a
me
lot
to
of,
do that. We've been doing these videos for quite some time, and yet still I couldn't put one of his favorite movies on because it just hurt me too badly. And then you convinced me to do that, and it was Braveheart. And it happens to be a 3-hour movie or something like that. And one night I saw it on there and I was like, that's it. Get a bottle of wine. I'm doing this. I'm going to do it now. And do you know, I thought I would have a really, really hard time with it and cry through the movie, but I didn't care. Bring on the pain. Bring it on. I've got this. I was surprised. I shocked myself. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. It made me feel comforted somehow watching the movie, and I made it all the way through and didn't cry once.
yep, yep. And
It was,
and again, sometimes it's even the thought of something, but not the action itself. It's that thought of oh, I'm going to feel this, and then look at what happened with you.
yeah.
You didn't feel that way. So
Think about it. Think about, being invited to a certain event. Maybe you don't know many people and you just don't want to go and you almost pull out at the last minute and you change your outfit 3 times and you're really pissed off because they invited you or you didn't want to be there to begin with. A whole gamut of things, right? Then you finally get in the car and you drive there annoyed the whole time and you go in and you end up having a really nice time. It's sort of like we're talking about something like that.
yeah,
That even if you can't open your heart to it and you push yourself to do things, it can really end up surprising you.
that's right. And isn't that wonderful, huh?
Yeah,
Because it shows how resilient we really are. It's amazing the strength that we don't know we have, but
I
all of
know.
us have it. It's inside us in some way. And we demonstrate that every day of our lives and everything that we've gone through. I mean, you've gone through tremendous loss. I've gone through tremendous loss since I was 2. And when my birthday came, I posted about my life and all these people showering all this sympathy that I'd lost my mother when I was only 2 and she was only 26. But my life went on and I was nurtured by a new mom and by my dad who was happy again. And the circumstances are incredibly horrible, but we are so incredibly resilient. That's all what we are, all of us. We've all gone through very difficult things in our lives, but we need to focus on us and the life that we have and the life that we can create. Easier said than done. I'm not saying this process is easy. It never is easy. Each of our losses, you know, look at your amount of losses you've had and my 4 losses, my personal losses. Um, but this is life. And we talk about this all the time. This is life. Death is part of life. And the best that we can do is make the most of our lives. That's what we owe to ourselves.
Lisa, I don't know. Not everybody's spiritual. You don't have to be very religious to be spiritual. I happen to pray all day, every day. It's just something that makes me feel good. However, just knowing, and I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, and I believe with all my heart that we were put here for a reason. There's something so much bigger than us in this universe, right? And we were put here for a reason. And the reasons that I see are to learn and to grow from the good things, the bad things, and all the things in between. Because as a human being, we need to learn all this before we leave the world. I mean, and there are unfortunate circumstances. There are children who die, and by the way, if anybody's listening today, and knows of a parent who's, lost a child, maybe tragically, we did a video with a mother that left such an impression on me, how resilient she was about losing, her daughter. And
Who was
I brought
murdered, who was
that up.
murdered.
He was murdered, but it was more than the video that we did was more than just about a murder. Okay, a lot of life lessons were in that video. And I bring that up because we did that a long time ago. And I work a couple days for an attorney, an elder care attorney, bringing legacy work into his practice, Tully Law, if anybody needs an elder care attorney. Uh, but there was a woman in the office that said to me just the other day, she said, I was flipping through my LinkedIn and I saw you there and I know we're not friends, but I clicked on you and I didn't know you were doing a YouTube channel and I jumped on the channel and something struck me. A video came up about a mother losing, a daughter tragically. She said, and I listened to that video and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the resilience and the love that this mother has before, during, and still,
Yes.
and that I forgot to tell you about that, Lisa, but that it filled my heart so much when she said that to me and she walked out of my office and I thought, you know something? We love doing these videos for people, Lisa, for no reason. We just feel the calling and the need that
Right.
we do these videos now. And that's the reason we do these videos.
Yep. Yep.
I don't think she's lost a child to any trauma. Maybe somebody she knows in her life. That's why she chose that video to click in. I didn't ask her the why, but that's the why that we do these videos. So if anybody knows of anybody in that situation, it would be good to go back and take a look at that
Yeah.
video. That's all. I'm
Yeah. And
babbling.
let's also mention that Compassionate Care is an organization that works with families and children and such, who have lost
And Cope. Cope,
siblings and
Cope is an
cope,
organization here
cope. And Compassionate Care actually is another one. But
on
yeah,
Long Island, that helps families that have
yes,
lost a child.
yes.
Just ask for Adam. You can look them up online, Cope, and give them a call. They help tremendously. Actually, Adam did a video with us. Did he?
That's interesting. We'll have to see. We'll have to go back and see. I'm not sure that he did.
I've done several online things with
We,
Adam.
we,
I'm not sure if he did one of our videos.
right. We've been involved with him. We don't know if he's been involved with us. Well,
Exactly.
we'll check it out. We'll check it out. But
So Lisa, I hope we got a little point across today that no matter where you are, on your timeline, that there's always going to be a little bit self-care that's needed along the way. I don't think there'll ever be a time, even if you've lost a parent 30 years ago, 40 years ago, as Lisa can attest to today, I don't think there'll ever be that time that you say, oh, I just feel wonderful about that loss and it's all good. I don't think that happens.
I agree.
So I think the more we can learn about grief and the mourning process and the things to do along the way to help make it a little bit better, the more we grow, the more we grow through this, right?
Birthday, I have these home videos that were all in these tapes, the 8 millimeter tapes. I had them
Yeah.
converted to a DVD. It needs music so that it would run along a little better, but it's from before I was born, and it's got my two
Wow.
parents, biological parents, and to see what they did and see
Wow.
similarities, it is amazing footage. And then, of course, it has me being born in the hospital and all, and the
Wow.
first years and the house. It's amazing. It's just a wonderful way of honoring the lives of people who were there in your early life and the stages of your life. It's wonderful,
You were
wonderful.
very, very lucky to have that. And now that leads me a little bit into, what I do for my regular
Yes,
job as a
yes,
legacy specialist,
yes,
because we don't think of it, and our ancestors really didn't think of it. So you were very lucky and blessed to have that in your possession in your house.
yes.
But it's so important important to even the little things, you know, to do a scrapbook, to do some journaling, to do some letter writing. If you go to, I have a new Etsy shop. It's supportivetransition.etsy.com. If you go to that store, you'll see a bunch of digital downloads that I did on there. One of them is 20 inspirational ways to help your parent or grandparent leave their legacy now. You know, don't wait for that rainy day, because I have so many people that I meet and so many clients that say to me, "Oh, I just wish I did something sooner. I wish I knew. I wish I knew what to do. I thought about it. We thought about it, but we didn't do anything." And that leads me to my next venture. I told you a little bit about it, Lisa. It's upcoming. I'll launch that. I'll probably do a video about it because it's one of the biggest, most profound treasures that we as a society can do for our families right now. It's called Forever My Voice, and it has to do with recordings on a personal cue for the people in your life that you love. I'm starting with first responders because it's really important for them to, they plan, right? Their monetary assets, they do their estate plans and they put all that into place, but they don't fill in that last piece of the puzzle that can be so significant as their children grow and as their families move on in life without them. So
Wonderful.
I talk about that more later on. Lisa, what have you been keeping busy with besides snowbirding? Anything important, Lisa?
No, but I will say that in a retirement community that I was in, I handed out a lot of cards. And each of our cards, of course, has our YouTube channel on it. And people were very grateful. People of older parents, people whose spouses just died, people who are in all kinds of transitions. And they were so grateful that I thought enough to take these cards with me. So I handed out a
That's
lot.
wonderful. So please like and follow and share our page, you know, because you might come across a certain instance with somebody in your life that may need a little, just a little nudge with something outside of the realm of bereavement and grieving. Even before, we have videos about before your loved one passes. So you can take a search, hit the video button on our page and search through, and there's something for everybody. So thank you very much. I think that we got that across today, a little bit about self-care, right?
So do I. So do I.
All right, Lisa.
Okay.
And I will see you and each other next week.
Sounds great. Take care. Okay. Bye.